We are here in Game 3 of this best of 5 that is tied up 1-1 between Gospy and Derek, JCEX. This is the 2+2 tournament. The tournament is being run by a moderator on 2+2, and co-moderated me at the 2+2 StarCraft 2 forum, Orange, and is also run by another 2+2 member known as Wrath's Unanimous. We can see the map is MLG, Shatter Temple, so that means two things. First of all, can't spawn close position, and second of all, the supply depot is out here, so you can't wall off. Honestly, most of those things deal with Zerg, although close position TVP can get a little silly too. So, you know, the supply depot and all that's really not all as important in this game. In the last game, we saw Gospy go for a Nexus first build, and Derek tried to counter it, hard counter it, with a quick Thor, repaired Thor build. Excuse me. You can see it does look like Derek is going to go down here and wall. See, remember what I said last game about eating? I ate in between the two games. Now ate very quickly. I'm dealing with the consequences of it. He is going for a wall off here. It didn't work out. There was a little bit of a discussion after the game of what would have worked. I personally thought he should have done a reactor marine tank push. You don't even wait for siege run. You just go with the tank, a few repairing SCVs. He gets there a lot quicker. The tank deals with a lot of the stalker damage and the zealot damage, and the marines deal out the DPS. And obviously, the SCVs can repair the tank. The repaired Thor build, I honestly thought would work, because repaired Thors... The reason that repairing Thors is such a neat mechanic is because the repair ability is based on the build time of the unit. So it repairs quickly because it builds rather quickly. So it can become a near-invincible unit if it has that surround. Plus, you have to kill the SCVs first before you even get to the Thor. However, the problem was, he didn't have his SCVs on auto-repair. Big mistake. And so that created two things. First of all, they weren't repairing, obviously. And second of all, Zealots were able to get in. Zealots obviously do a ton of damage to units. We can see he did put a supply depot at the bottom of the wall here, but he has decided to build his barracks in the middle of the base. It's an interesting decision. It's possible he just wanted the depot down here to spot any probes coming in, so couldn't do anything like place a proxy pylon or do a low ground cannon rush or something silly like that. We can see over here, Gospy has gotten a gas, hasn't saturated yet. Not doing Nexus first this time, throws down a gateway. Here, do we see a gas? We obviously do see a gas here from our Terran, and he is not yet producing a marine. It appears that he wants to get that second supply depot down first. We do see a supply depot going down on the other end here. It's possible that he plans on throwing a bunker right here. It's actually really smart. It's still possible for like a Void Ray though to come up here and either charge on this. I'm pretty sure they can charge on this, or charge on the edge of the supply depot and then charge on the bunker, and then you basically have a fully charged Void Ray coming into your base and doing all sorts of damage. And you really need Stim Marines to deal with that. We can see a factory is the next building over Derek. He really does seem to favor this 1-1-1 build, this old school Terran build that really is still applicable in any matchup. Terran has so many different options you can do when you open up the game. And he is taking a second gas, so I think that's indicative of tech, and he's not just going to be doing Hellion Marine Bunker Expand or something crazy like that. One build that's really, really nice, especially in close air like this, is immediately start pumping out Hellions. And once you get the three, you throw down Starport right away. 3 Hellions, a medevac will finish, right? As the 3 Hellions finish, you put the 3 Hellions in the medevac. You drop them. It's really hard for Protoss to deal with, even if they know it's coming, because they need to really SimCity well, they need to move their probes around well. And if they line all their probes up, all you need is one volley, and you'll knock out half their probes. And then you immediately transition into Cloaked Banshees, unless, of course, they've already, for some reason, got a really quick Roadbone and are boosting an Observer. But even if they do have Observer, if you do enough damage to their economy, they can't make enough Stalkers to deal with the DPS of Mass Banshees. 6 to 8 critical Mass Banshees kill things really, 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 really fast. It's almost like a critical massive Colossi late in the game where you get 5-6 Colossi and it just kills the Zerg army or the Terran bio so quick. Mass Banshees can really accomplish the same thing earlier in the game. We can see he is saving up some Chrono Boosts. I'm curious to see what he uses it on. He's not using it on anything right now. It's possible he's saving it up for some sort of tech. It's possible he's also just not paying attention. As you can see, the second gas is built but not saturated. He has thrown down a rather quick Nexus off of 1 gate, so this is a 1 gate expand. Coming back here over to Terran, we can see a tech lab going down on the factory. I do think this will probably be Banshees, and we can see Marines being produced out of the reactor. And then we can see, of course, there is our bunker right at the front of the base. So the second and third gateways are going down. The Nexus is about to finish. So again, Gospy going for a more economical play, while Derek is going for a more abusive style of play, which I really think Terran abusive style play is really the way to go. Terran army is so resilient. Terran units are so good. And mules are so good that you can sort of sacrifice some of that early economy. He does have to do damage, obviously, but you can sacrifice some of that early economy and possibly just outright win the game or harass him into an economic disadvantage. We can see robotics facility going down, so we see a 1-gate expand into 3-gate robo. This honestly might deal with any sort of Banshee harass pretty well, because he's going to get an Observer out before any cloak comes out. He's going to have 3 gateways so he can power out Stalkers and Sentries, which obviously deal with Banshees. And it could render it ineffective, although it does not appear he's researching Cloak. It's possible that he might just make 1 Banshee to do a little bit of harassment, 1 or 2 Banshees to do harassment. Just don't lose them. Keep them in your army, because they're really good at doing damage later, and Protoss always knows they're around on the map somewhere. Force a bit of an overreaction from Gospy and possibly get ahead that way. You can see a command center being thrown down here, so he is going to expand as well. Looks like he's going to be doing some Banshee harassment to expand. Really, really like it. He's not going to be so far behind, but he does need to do a little bit of damage. And damage isn't necessarily killing probes, although I have a feeling he'll probably get 2 or 3 with this. Damage is also forcing a reaction from your opponent. It's money they're not spending on economy attack. So here we go. Here's the Banshee harass is beginning. We can see he gets 2 probes right away. Will he get a 3rd? Probably try and pick that one off coming out of the... Yep, there he goes. Last second, that probe lost its life. We can see the Banshee is going to fly up here, skirt along, right to the natural, and there's... See, look at this. Look at the mining time he's losing. Even if he doesn't kill probes, and he is going to kill probes down here at the natural, we can see 4 kills on this Banshee, 5 kills on this Banshee. These probes are running around everywhere. He's not paying attention. Look, he's not building anything. He's not doing anything. And all meanwhile, he's making more Banshees, more units, more SCVs back here. So he got 5 kills with that Banshee. Really, really cost effective. Look at it. He barely took any damage. He's running probes all over the place. His saturation's all screwed up. There's nothing down here at this base. Just look at the havoc that caused. And we see a 2nd Banshee coming in. He doesn't know if it's the same Banshee or if it's a different Banshee, or if it flew around down here, if it has Cloak, if it doesn't have Cloak. I don't even know if did he get out a 2nd Observer? He did get out a 2nd Observer. That's gas. It's time. It's not being used. We can see that he's setting up his nice defensive position here. He might even throw a bunker down here, right in front of the tanks. So impenetrable. And if he can bring this Banshee around, so he's going to maybe clear out the tower with this Banshee. Now, do something with this Banshee. I'd love to see it. He is throwing down a spotting pylon. This Banshee could probably come in, pick probe, pick a probe, pick a probe, pick out before these do anything. And then you could fly this Banshee in like here if he runs the probes and pick all probes in the main. It's just such a good unit. We can see Twilight Council is going down for Gospy, and Derek is getting that Raven out again. We saw in the first game of the series how effective the Raven was with the point defense drone. Such a good unit. And we can see that he is making this Marine tank Raven composition again. I don't see the pre-igniter Hellions like we did last time. Obviously has not been researched, and he's throwing a reactor down in the factory, so perhaps we are about to see pre-igniter Hellions, or it could be that he just wants to use that reactor for a barracks, but he did build a 2nd factory, so I assume it is for a reason. You can see that the Banshees are moving down here. You can get a nice little repair action on them. I mean, just look at the damage these things do. 12 damage, 2 attacks, so it's 12 damage and attack.